A-tubes. This is a lawnmower I received in on trade for the Craftsman I sold that I had gotten for free that I fixed. This one I probably gave her a little more credit than I should have, but the story is they were using it and it just stopped working. Handlebars were kind of all messed up. There is no bag, or that she didn't say she had a bag, and there's no beauty cover. Now, if I do get this running, I have a beauty cover I can put on it for something else that'll fit. But you know, this is the kind of stuff I can. When you take trade-ins, you sometimes get stuff like this. I'm just going through this, going through it. I've got the handlebars on better, and I still gotta put a couple more bolts in. But at least you can push it around now. It is not seized. I was able to pull the cord. Other than being filthy and having just a little bit of oil in there. Let's and I do have a beauty cover I could add to this. I pulled off the scrap mower. It doesn't match the brand, but whatever. Now let's go take a look at the blade. It's got a decent blade on it, and it's on the right way. So yeah, I gotta go hit this with the pressure washer. The air filter, it isn't half bad, although it got some oil in here, like maybe it was put on the wrong side. And it is scratch packed, so it needs to be shaken out, but it's good enough to reuse. It's quite a bit different now after a power wash. The bottom of it was caked. You know, this deck is in pretty bad shape. So I do have a Toro deck in the basement with the Kohler engine on it that's whacked. Let me see if I can just get this engine to run. Maybe I can do a engine swap. In order to push this thing around, I had to fix the handlebars better. So the parts here where this thing goes in, we're missing a bolt, and that was missing, I mean, this was missing a nut, and that one was missing the bolt and a nut. So I just grabbed some hardware that I had and put it in so I can actually push this thing around, not bend the handlebars. So I had pulled the cord a few times, it didn't start. But let's go, let me go squirt some go-go juice into the carburetor and see what happens. Carb spray directly into the carburetor. Let's see if this thing will start. Hey, it started, and the self-propelled works. Interesting. Maybe this one won't be too bad. I'm gonna get into the carburetor just to take a quick peek at it. It's got all this junk on it. Just gonna wipe it out and spray it out and go from there. So this is I think, yeah, 5/16 bolts. And we carefully pull back the box. It's good that this gasket stayed here. Most of the time it sticks here or it's gone. So I'm just gonna clean this out, and then you can see if I can do a quick and dirty on the carburetor, just taking off the bottom of the bowl, and go from there. Leave off on this. I had to go pick up my daughter. yeah, it did run. So I'm gonna do a just do a quick and dirty clean on the carburetor, see where it goes. I was just thinking about this, since this deck is pretty shot. I have a Toro with a Kohler engine that's kind of wet. The engine's whacked. But if I get this engine to run, maybe I can put that on my Toro deck. That one is self-propelled as well. I just won't be able to use a Toro blade. I'll have to use a universal or whatever, but I'll have to make it 22-inch, which I have one somewhere. Let's see what's in this carburetor. Since this is an auto choke one, I got to take this off, which means I need a 1/4 inch. Just set that aside. This thing is full of gas. Doesn't smell bad. So before I take the carburetor off, I'm gonna pinch off the fuel line. And let's go see what's in the bowl. It's a 1/2 inch bolt. Before you work on any, pull the bottom. Always take the spark plug out. See. What I'm going to do here is I'm just going to take off this bolt, bottom bolt, and just take a look at it. It'll give me an idea how bad the carburetor is. And it's going to leak gas. Gonna leak a little bit of gas, but whatever. And here, you see this? The jet's clear. That's a good sign. So let me just there. This looks pretty clean. I'm just gonna spray it and wipe it out and put it back. After I check the float to see if it's okay. Checking the float. Just doing this. I can tell that the seat's okay. If it wasn't okay, it would I'd feel resistance when it was down here. I'll just spray it out. Also spray out in the intake here. No. This is a quick and dirty for that carburetor cleaning. Normally I'd take it off, but this one isn't that bad. Because everything looks okay, I'm just gonna clean the bowl out, wiped it out. Just gonna put this back. It doesn't matter which direction, like the Tecumsehs do. Or so just gonna start it by hand. Then switch over to my ratchet. That should be tight enough. Go wipe off the gas off the carburetor cleaner off the deck and the gas, because that will take off whatever paint is here. So let's put the airbox back on. See how it is. Airbox back on. Always do this by hand. Because you do not want to deform the plastic, so don't use an impact. A drill might be okay if you can set the torque level. That should be good. Auto choke is free. It's functioning. So let's retest the spark plug. Let's see how it goes. Before I run any more than that, I'm gonna change the oil. A little tip when you're pouring this out: this has a belt cover, so it makes it hard to get to the drain plug. I'm just tipping it over on the side, but this has got a lot of gas in it. To keep the gas from coming out, get yourself a Ziploc bag or any kind of bag. Put it like that, and then you tip it over. Gas won't come out. So far, that's all that was in there, which isn't much. And that's so bad. So I'll leave it sitting here like this for a while. Okay. Abilene 10W30 and Super Tech oil stabilizer. So I'm going to use this oil stabilizer, and this is 4 ounces of the oil stabilizer, which is about there. And the remainder, 16 ounces or so, is going to be 10W30. Got a little too much, but that's okay. As you can see, this is the oil that was in it. It's pretty dark, and it was probably down to, well, this holds 20 ounces. It was probably down to about 8 ounces left. So that's not good to run it that way. I'll something for this mower that is missing. It doesn't match exactly, but it's close enough. And I'm gonna have to take the pull cord out, take the handle out to redo it. This looks better. This is this is one from one of the very first lawnmowers I tried to flip, and it was it had well, it had no very little compression. So I'm gonna just use the beauty cover from it. I kept it, but I scrapped everything else. Here we are back with this Troybilt trade-in that I got. Stuff I did do is I fixed the handlebars the best I could with whatever hardware I had on hand. It's not right, but it's better than it was. Power washed it, power washed the underside. I found this beauty cover I had from Yard Machines that I stuck on it. Because it didn't have one. I did a quick and dirty clean on the carburetor. Air filter's okay, so I just shook it out. And I changed the oil. This does run, and I adjusted the throttle. So it runs now. So let me show you. Oh, and I put a new pull handle because the other one was cracked off. That's the last good one I have. So, what should I do with this? Should I take this engine off this deck, which is pretty worn, and put it on a Toro I have, and scrap the Kohler engine that's on it because it's kind of had it, or leave this like it is? Let me know in the comments. Later, tubes.